And by mammoth, we don't just mean big.
Cities across America force law-abiding citizens into curfew as rioters and looters burn and smash. Protesters watch their cause undermined by violent hangers-on.
But I'm literally looking at my neighbors now going, I'm ready to hang them up, gut them and skin them and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors. Good morning.
Good morning.
Why are you gay?
Who says that?
Oh my gosh, I cut us in early. That was embarrassing. I didn't know that would happen. Welcome to the Failure to Stop Uncuffed. Uncuffed Monday, man. It's Monday. Manic Monday. It's another Manic Monday. Today's show is brought to you by Stamps.com. Use that promo code Wolfpack. You've heard the ad at the beginning of the show. I'm sure you'll hear another ad at the middle of the show. But we really, really appreciate Stamps.com. And also, of course, Ghostbed. I am new to the Ghostbed pillow. Not new to the Ghostbed mattress, but I'm new to the Ghostbed pillow. And I didn't know life could get any better. I thought life had reached its peak while just sleeping on the ghost bed itself with the adjustable base. And then I got the pillow and I was like, okay, well, it just got better. It just got better. I think there would be a lot less crime in this world if we all slept on a ghost bed. Listen, this is going to be just a show. It's chock full of stuff, but I have to go on a rant at the beginning of the show.
Before you go on the rant, you're talking about ghost beds.
Yeah.
You said it's good for us. And all that. What about the jails and prisons? You think they ought to outfit them with ghost beds?
Why not, dude? The guy's government contract ghost bed probably cut a huge deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Huge deal.
I mean, if a lot of those guys, if they, give it to them for like
only certain ones,
good
like,
behavior.
Yeah, like the ones that you want to rehabilitate,
Yeah,
like the ones that are going back out into the world,
right?
Like because everything starts with a good night's rest. It really does.
Right.
If you don't sleep right, then you can't act right.
That's right. They should be tested for sleep apnea.
Yeah,
and then ghost bed might help out with sleep apnea.
Dang, dude. Did you ever work in the jail system?
I did.
You did,
yeah, because I was a sheriff.
What are those beds like?
Steel. It's
hard.
Really? Yeah, and the mat is so thin, you might as well just sleep on the floor.
Could you imagine being like 20 years in and like, could you imagine having slept on a ghost bed, getting arrested, getting sentenced to some ridiculous amount of time, and then having one of those?
Oh, that'll be. I'd be like, look, I'll trade all my commissary for a ghost bed.
Could they do that? Can you do that? Could you buy, like, if your family bought you a ghost bed, would they put it in there for you?
I don't know. They probably could. They probably, really? Of course, they're gonna probably rip it open, make sure it ain't no liquid crack. Or so, he's sitting over there sucking on the mattress. I'm like, what is he doing?
Speaking of mattresses in jails, we lost I think we've all worked with him. I think you've worked with Ned Bird at least once or twice, the K-9 officer from Wake County Sheriff's Department.
Yes,
I know I've worked with him on several calls. And he was executed.
He came through the schools when I worked. He came through the schools one time, a couple of times.
And he worked at the jail. Worked in the courts
as
well.
There.
But he was killed tragically by an illegal immigrant. And the only reason that the illegal immigrant part is at all relevant is because I'm about to read a story all about illegal immigrants.
Right.
But he was murdered by an illegal immigrant, assassinated, and on a car that he thought was just in trouble, just needed help. And they ended up shooting him in the back of the head while he was looking at the license plate. But anyway, that person has escaped from prison in a new article today. I didn't know you could still escape from prison in 2023.
He had some inside help. Had to.
Seriously.
Remember the one case, the female?
Yes. Where she was banging that.
She was like a lieutenant.
Mm-hmm.
And she tricked everybody, lied, and walked him out the door.
Yeah.
Sold her house. Her house was worth like $400,000. She sold it for like $100,000.
Yeah.
And she did all that stuff, and they found her. They got him, but she ended up committing suicide.
Yeah, she shot herself.
Yeah.
Damn.
So if he got out, it had to be an inside job. Somebody.
It's great because there was a lot. I mean, I know when that case first happened, Raleigh, the sheriff at the time, Gerald Baker. Well, he's a lot like Lori Lightfoot. He didn't last very long.
He did his one term, but not too long after he got voted in. Everybody was,
but he got rid of ICE and everything, and he got rid of detainers. But then once Ned died, he tried to put a detainer on the immigrant. Now, being that we're pro police, we're kind of pro that, right? Like, let's put the detainer on the guy for sure. But if you're a citizen and you're like, well, wait a minute, my cousin was killed by an illegal immigrant, but you didn't give them a detainer.
Right.
Or my mother was raped by an illegal immigrant, and you didn't give him a detainer. But now when a cop dies, we get a detainer.
Right.
So I understand why the public was super pissed at Gerald Baker for the detainer thing. And now this dude has escaped.
They haven't found him yet either.
No.
Wow.
I actually saw a thing today. It says shoot on sight.
He probably
for the U.S. Marshals.
He probably in Mexico.
Oh, he would have to go as fast as he could to Mexico. I mean, if he's not there, he's on his way.
Yeah.
He's on his way.
He probably took a crop duster because he couldn't go commercial.
Yeah. Well,
I couldn't see TSA patting him down like, where are your bags at? Where are your shoes at?
I kind of feel like the Mexican community probably is pretty tight knit.
Oh, yeah.
So he's probably
ever see them? Have you ever been to a Hispanic house?
Yeah.
2-bedroom, 5 families.
Oh, yeah. At least 5 families.
You know what I'm saying? They go to the grocery store. They have like 3 shopping carts.
Yeah.
And all the women pushing them.
I could
the guys are putting food in. The women are pushing the carts. And when they get there, one guy pull out a knot that big that could choke a horse, roll it out, and
oh yeah, that's why they get robbed a lot.
Yeah,
well, because they get paid in cash. Because
exactly.
Yep. Well, Lori Lightfoot, and listen, guys, if you're a follower of this show, and I know that you're new to this show, and you probably have some new fans to this show that are listening. So just a caveat to Jay Derrell's new fans that he brings to this thing. I have been going hard on Lori Lightfoot for like 3 years solid. Like since day one, when she's like the most anti-police mayor that I've ever heard, and I was super pro-police. Obviously, that's why we started this show, was to give cops a voice of reason that wasn't from mainstream media. But Lori Lightfoot has, since day one of her inception as mayor, that's probably not how you say that, but she has been an absolute disaster. The first thing she did was the defund the police movement, was cut the budget $80 million. That was the first thing she did. Then she declared that the police department were insurrectionists because they refused to get the vaccine. They refused to fire officers for not getting the vaccine. Now, we know that every city, some officers got the vaccine, some didn't.
Right.
And there were rules that made it worthwhile for you to get a vaccine. So a lot of them did. But nobody got fired if they didn't.
Right.
And now nobody gives a shit and you don't have to do any of that stuff. So for Lori Lightfoot to as a mayor, call her police force insurrectionist on the media. But that's why I've always hated Lori Lightfoot, is because she has been the most outspoken. But it's not about being outspoken. It's about being a bitch. You can be outspoken without being a bitch. And she would say things like, for instance, when the aldermen, which is like the council, they like, that's kind of what they have in Chicago. They have like aldermen instead of councilmen. And they asked her, like, what are we going to tell people about this massive spike in violent crime? 60%. Let me get you the real stat there. I want to say it was like 62%. I'll go back to it here in a second. 64%. I wasn't off by far. I said 62%. 64% was the shootings jumped up 64%. And so he asked her a nice question. And you can go back and listen to it. And he just says, like, what are we going to tell the people? Like, how do we explain to them that we've cut a budget $80 million and now our shootings are up 64%? You know what her response was to him? She cussed him out, called him full of shit. Wow. Like, maybe he's full of shit. Maybe, but I don't know if you say that. But she just had a string of all of these things. She's always made me soft. I got fined like $1,400 for a bad Lori Lightfoot ad read, which we then made t-shirts out of. They did really, really good. But she has a whole string of fuck ups. She's the first the first mayor in 40 years to not be reelected after her first term. In 40 years. Now, they've never had a Republican ever in office. It's always been Democrat in Chicago since day one. Always.
She's a Republican?
No, she's a Democrat.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll never vote a Republican in Chicago. It's never gone that way.
Right.
So even all the Democrats, it's not like a swing thing.
Right.
It was never about Republican or Democrat. This was just like the Democrats put her in because for those of you who don't know about Lori Lightfoot, she came in out of nowhere. She was a black female lesbian, married. So she was
wow.
like the patron saint of woke.
Right. When the alphabet
Yes.
movement,
Yeah.
and that when she ran, oh yeah,
Yeah.
She got the votes. She
Right,
got
like
the
which I
votes.
have no problem with a black female lesbian being in
Right.
charge of me.
As long as
really
they do
don't
the
care.
job.
You got to know what
That's
the
it.
fuck you're doing,
You
though.
got to do the job.
And
That's
Lori
right.
Lightfoot had a chip on her shoulder from day one. Listen, politicians with a chip on their shoulder, it's probably not a good look. You're probably not going to last long. Look at De Blasio. You name it. Politicians that come in with like a heavy chip on their shoulder and they go all right. You got to remember that there are people who will flip and flop on you.
Oh yeah.
You got to still
Exactly.
do a good job. It's not
Exactly.
you're not just guaranteed votes.
Right.
But Lori Lightfoot just made a string of it. If I go in there and I tell you how to do comedy,
Mhm.
if I come up to you, Jay Derrell, and I say, to do comedy, you have to do this, 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 and that. And I say it with confidence. It doesn't mean that I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And then if you go and you implement what I've told you and it doesn't work,
Right.
you're probably going to hate me.
No, I wouldn't hate you, but I would be like, he didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
He doesn't know what he's talking
I don't
about.
even know why I listened to him.
Why do I listen to him? And that's what Lori Lightfoot does. She just says these like crazy off the things wall. And like 3 years ago, she started saying this shit, and I knew it was all bullshit. I knew that all of her policies weren't going to happen. She went hard in the paint on this whole sanctuary city thing. Like, we love everybody. We're welcoming to everybody. We're going to be a sanctuary, and they got rid of ICE. They were one of the first cities to get rid of ICE in their city. They didn't do detainers for illegal immigrants, the whole 9 yards. And then all of a sudden, crime just goes rampant, not because of illegal immigrants, but it was the totality of everything that she did. You can't cut a budget 80%.
Exactly.
I mean, $80 million. You can't talk down to your police officers, which she did, which, by the way, she would bring race into her police department, which I don't know how when you've, the very high percentage rate of African Americans on that police department, and your chief and your deputy chief, they're all black people. So
well, you know what I learned, man. You know what I learned of almost 50 years of living.
What's that?
Is not all kinfolk is good folk.
Sure.
So in other words, just because they're black,
sure,
that don't mean for me. They don't mean for me to vote for them because of their skin color.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's the content of their character.
Right.
How all that
Could
stuff.
you imagine if like white people did that though? Like if white people only voted for white people, but like just because they were white?
Right.
I mean, we might do that, but like we have a whole bunch of white people to choose from. Unfortunately, black people don't have a lot of black people to choose from. And that sucks.
A lot of us don't. They don't run because black folks feel that even if we have one or two in there, they're gonna flip flop, like you said, flip flop. And
well, I mean, that's what they did with Obama. I mean,
like,
be honest with you. Like when Obama got elected as president of the United States, he had a lot of ambitions. I remember, I voted for him on his first term because I liked his speeches. Right, like they were very passionate, powerful speeches. Oh, yeah. But they put Joe Biden with him, who was like the worst politician at the time to get him, and Joe Biden constantly thwarted Obama. Obama hated him. Matter of fact, Obama didn't even endorse Biden until like the weeks coming of the election because he didn't want to. Because Biden, I mean, I remember when Obama told Biden not to go to China, and Biden was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to China anyway," and sent his son, and they did a huge deal, and it blew up in everybody's face, and it made Obama look terrible. So they took the oldest white racist. I mean, Biden had tons of racist problems. I mean, he had the whole lockups. I mean, he's notorious for saying shitty things about black people too. And they took the most like whitest racist politician and stuck him with Obama to silence Obama. That was my opinion of that whole thing. I felt like Obama probably had a lot of things, but the establishment was like, not today, motherfucker. I think they did the same thing with Trump too, though.
He aged him. He aged Obama. He worried him so bad because if you look at pictures of Obama when he was before he was president, when he made president, when he took office, he looked good. Had black hair, everything. And by the end of his term, by the end of that second term, he looked like you couldn't recognize him. You look at him, his lips was black, looked like he smoked weed every day. Yeah. Like he drank a pint of wine, wild Irish rose type, that bullshit type of wine. He from Chicago. Ain't he from Chicago?
Who?
Obama.
Probably.
From Chicago or somewhere like West Side of Chicago or something. So he was drinking that bullshit Mad Dog 2020 and stuff. Even while he was in office. You can't tell me he didn't. And all his hair turned gray. Everything, if he could have smoked a joint while he was giving his State of the Union address, he would have.
Yeah.
Cause that's how Biden,
Yeah.
this man, fuck that. 200,000. No, they paid them what? 400,000 now. They get paid 400,000 and the
To
person
be the president? Oh, I
Yeah,
have
they
no
get
idea.
$400,000 a year.
He's a millionaire.
and then when they are
Multi-millionaire.
out, they get half that for the rest of their life.
Yeah, but he's got the book endorsements. They've got tons of like oil deals. Like them, dude. All those politicians are making fucking.
Jimmy Carter, he laying in hospital somewhere. He's still making a grip.
They're all making tons of money, dude. Tons of money.
Yes.
Well, so crime skyrocketed in Chicago with a reporting of over 800 murders in 2021. How many murders on average do you think Raleigh had back then? When you were a cop, say like 2018.
We did. We had a lot of people. We had quite a few shootings.
Yeah.
And shots fired.
Sure.
But somebody actually dying.
Like 23 a year, 25, 23 to 25.
That's low compared to, like you said,
800 in Chicago.
Man,
800.
Man, I seen a couple of videos on Facebook where people were standing there doing a live video on Facebook and a drive-by and got their ass shot. They were sitting there, hey, hold on, that car, pow, 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 pow. And you see the phone fall and the guy, and it was like, oh shit, dude just got shot.
Yeah.
Live on Facebook. Where he at? Chicago.
Like,
oh, hell, you can't even, you see what I'm saying?
It's like, I don't even do like Chicago news because it's too easy. It's cherry picking for me. Like if you go to Chicago, like if you try to find like crime to report on in Chicago, it's your cherry picking because there's so much. 20,000 cases of theft in 2022 alone. The shootings in downtown Chicago jumped to 64% by mid-2022, less than a year ago. Lightfoot's mismanagement, political mistakes, and rising crime helped the city lose 50,000 people in just 1 year. They had the most mass exodus of people leaving Chicago under her thing. And then and businesses coming, right? As well.
You know where they coming, right? They all moving to Cary, North Carolina.
That's
where all the fuck they going.
It feels like they're coming here too.
Look, price, they done drove up the price of property. You can't buy nothing. You're like, what? Yeah, this sold. Somebody from Chicago.
Listen, I used to make fun of Lori Lightfoot a lot. And then people would email me, or not email me, but like DM me and scathe me and call me a racist and all these other things about Lori Lightfoot and telling me how great a person she was. I hope you all of you that took the time out of your day to send me a message, like I think you should take the time out of your day and send me a message and apologize, because it's not just me that thought that. Like literally, it's real easy to take somebody's back when you're not living in the shit. It's not like this had anything to do with Republicans voting her out, had nothing to do with white people voting her out. These are Democrats who have always been Democrats, voted their own Democrat out. She's got nobody to blame at this point than herself.
Let me ask you this. Did they talk to the citizens of Chicago?
She lost her reelection. Mm-hmm. She didn't even get third place.
Oh, damn.
It's unprecedented.
So they spoke.
Yeah.
So they spoke.
The people were like,
we are fired.
Well, she had the most ridiculous lockdowns. If you remember, of every state, she was the most strict on the lockdowns. She was the last one to open up the schools. She was the one that got caught up getting the haircut. Remember when she told that haircut people weren't allowed to go get haircuts? She went and got her haircut and then went live on TV and said that her haircut was essential to running the city because she's the face of the city. Like, come on, people see through that shit.
I'd be like, do that on your own time.
People see through that shit. Like, you can't tell me I can't go get a haircut.
Right.
And then you walk your ass in there and get a haircut.
Right.
With no mask and all your other bullshit. She was the first one to take Jussie Smollett's back.
Oh, and look at that.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, this woman has done nothing, which is why I've gone so hard on her forever.
Now, that happened in Chicago, didn't it?
Yeah.
His thing, yeah.
In the Windy City, man.
Oh, my God.
Man, she only got like 5% of the votes for her reelection. Hilarious. But listen, here's some of the tweets she put out. To put it simply, if you have been living vaccine-free, your time is up. If you wish to live life with ease to do the things you love, you must be vaxxed. Nobody else was putting shit out there like that. Like, there's a way to say it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not going to win me over. Matter of fact, you talk to me like that, I'm like, dude, not only am I not going to get vaxxed, I'm going to get not doubly vaxxed.
Right. I'm going to wear the t-shirt and everything.
Yeah, I'm going to wear the t-shirt.
I'm going to make poster signs and be walking around. Do not vax.
Yeah.
Do not. Yeah.
I might even get vaxxed just to save my ass, but just to be a dick. I'm going to say I didn't. To put it simply, if you've been living vax-free, your time is up. Bitch, come and get me.
But see, and that's, I have a fellow comedian friend of mine who he was battling cancer, and
Mhm.
he did things, I guess, to combat it.
Sure.
He didn't go the way normal people go about it, chemotherapy and
Right.
all that
Try to
stuff,
do like
radiation,
holistic.
right?
Good for
But he
him.
did that, and somehow he pulled through, and they like, you in remission. Your stuff is wow, no
Yeah.
trace of it, and all this. But he was so big, and he posts every day. It used to piss me off because I used to get tired of seeing
Yeah.
shit because I was like, not everybody.
What was he saying? To get vaxxed?
He was dead against it.
Dead against
And
it. Yeah.
everybody,
Well, you know what?
that was
Because and now
dying
they
young.
prove a Swiss science study right now
Mhm.
has proven that people shedding from the virus
Mhm.
is detrimental to cancer patients. That it's eating like the chemotherapy.
Mhm.
It brings your your immune system is already like deficient,
Right.
and people that have been vaxxed that are shedding are actually making their immune systems even worse.
Wow. And that's what he was saying. It's like everybody. I mean, 16-year-old kid fall out, pass out of a heart attack at practice. And I'm thinking, well, don't you think it might be because he just had a bad heart and he was running and
Sure.
he was like, nope, he was vaccinated.
Well, I mean,
So
there
I was
was a
like,
lot
damn.
more. There was a lot more people driving. I mean, there still are. There was a cheerleader. I mean, there was like 4. I just did a story on it last month. It was like 4 high school students last month that had no previous. But listen. At the end of the day, I've always preached the vaccine should have just been a personal choice.
Right.
I think all vaccines should be a personal choice. Honestly,
yeah.
because there are lots of studies that show that certain vaccines, there's like 1 in 700 chance of having some kind of horrible side effect that includes death to some other vaccines. And I think as a parent, if you're like, okay, well, if it's 1 in a trillion chances that we're going to contract, polio, I'm just making shit up. I'm not a doctor, here, but there's 1 in 700 chances that I have a bad side effect. Probably going to go with it should just be your choice.
Well, that's just like military. When we was military,
but you sign up for the military,
right?
Get a choice.
We have a choice. We had to get take shots, whatever shots, blood they take, everything.
But you don't have to join the military.
Exactly. When you raise that hand.
I hate that argument too. People are like, "Well, why do you care about vaccines, Eric? You joined the military." I was like, "Yeah, but I chose to join the military."
Exactly. When I see, people don't understand. You basically sign your life, your rights away. To the military when you join. If you are a single parent, you have to basically give up the rights of your kids while you're in training, and then you might be able to get them back. Once you come out of your training and you get to your duty station, you can work or get them back. So a lot of people don't understand that. When you give up you go into the military, you give up everything. So I mean, that's just like when I was at Fort Bragg when a lot of the racist stuff was going on. And they was talking about these guys in the skinhead organizations. And I'm looking at them, they making us get naked, looking at us for tattoos and stuff. And I'm like, do I look like I will be in the skinhead organization? Why I got to get naked and y'all look at my ass, all up my ass for tattoos.
I know you got a rebel flag tattooed on your back. I know
man, I was a Dukes of Hazzard fan. You know what I'm saying? I had the little model General Lee car.
That thing was awesome. I had one of those. Oh shit. If I say that, I'm gonna get canceled. I'm just kidding. I did. I used to have one.
See,
I used to
you
love
could be
that
Bo, I'll be Luke.
Hell
Okay,
yeah,
or
dude.
vice versa.
Wouldn't that be funny if they did remake that and they did it that way?
Yes,
that would be
that would be
fucking
cool.
hilarious. And then like you like get on top of the car and be like, "Motherfucker, you put a rebel flag?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, dude, South will rise again." And then you put like something else on it. Yeah,
I have a Martin Luther King bobblehead sitting right there.
Yeah,
sitting there as a hood.
that would be awesome.
Whenever we make them damn jumps and shit, his
dude.
head will be like, "I have a dream." That we land right, survive this shit, man, that would be cool.
You got like your like Malcolm X hat on or some shit, I got a cowboy hat on. You got your like
half rebel flag,
yeah,
half Malcolm X flag.
We need to make one of those just anyway.
I'm telling you, that would be cool.
People would lose their fucking minds, dude.
Posted behind
Oh,
us.
people would lose their minds.
Yes.
And then you make the rebel flag like partly the gay flag too. Like just put the gay colors in it.
And then when
we would
come
get
on
shot.
the show, we do 2 snaps up. Like
Oh
yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
2 snaps into a fist.
Yeah.
And then limp wrist it. Oh, bro. Do you know how many drive-by shootings would happen here?
Oh
like
my
just all the
gosh.
rednecks, like
Right.
all the like yikes.
We have to hire off-duty officers.
That would be just too much, dude. But I'm in for it. I'll do it. I'll do it.
That's
I'll
a good
do it.
idea. If y'all
That's
have,
a great idea.
Y'all have any ideas out there? Let us know.
Bro, could you
Let us
imagine
know.
though, like the unity that might bring? Like if you just shit on everybody's flag and then you wore it to like a fucking football game or something, everybody's like,
What the
What the fuck?
Where you
It's like,
from?
is he like
North Carolina?
pro gay? Is he pro Confederate? Is he pro
Right.
black people? Like what the
He
fuck?
just like everybody.
Oh my god! Oh yeah, and there's like a thin blue line somewhere in there too. Man, somebody
Yes.
designed that for us. Somebody
would be
designed us the
nice.
most like freedom racist flag you could possibly think of that just
Exactly.
shits on everybody. Like I want half a rebel flag with a fist, half the rebel flag, half the raised fist with some sprinkled gay colors in it and a thin blue line somewhere. If you're that creative, if you're that kind of human,
That'd be cool.
give it to that. We might make a shirt out of it. We might make some stickers out of it. I don't
Yeah.
know. Depends how good it is.
Yeah.
But we'll definitely give you all credit too.
Yeah.
But let me go back to Lori Lightfoot just because I know I'm taking forever. And I do have a story that this is like super relevant, but I just still like to shit on Lori Lightfoot only because people at the beginning didn't take heed to what I had to say about Lori Lightfoot and why I couldn't stand her so very much. By the way, when they asked her about like her not winning the campaign, this is her quote. Certain folks don't want people. She says, okay, quote, I'm a black woman. Let's not forget. Certain folks, frankly, don't support us in leadership roles. Oh,
Well,
Lori.
you have to be a
Oh,
leader.
Lori. You didn't even get third place, Lori.
Right.
And it was all Democrats that voted for you, Lori.
She mad because she got a participation trophy.
And she's the ugliest person I've ever seen in my whole life.
Yeah, I know some lesbians that are fine, and you question why they're lesbian.
She's also the same. She was the same fascist that closed down the streets of Chicago forever for coronavirus. She was the only one. She went harder than anybody else in any other city in existence. And then she came out. Another funny thing that Lori Lightfoot did that really pissed me off was when Kamala Harris got the VP slot to run as the VP, the nomination for VP.
Right.
She held basically a Lollapalooza in the streets celebrating the first black woman, blah, blah, blah. Had a huge throwdown. 2 weeks later, locks down Thanksgiving. You can't have more than 10 people. But we can get out in the streets by the thousands and celebrate
And then after that,
your shit. And then we're going to shut it back down again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just pissed people. Like, you can't do that and expect people not to be upset about it. Like, anybody, you could be like, yo, bitch, like.
She was in office for how many years?
One
year.
Yeah.
Dang. And what was
I mean,
the term?
I guess like her second term is when she got voted out. So she's finishing her
She did
second
want to
term,
vote,
but I mean,
okay.
she's already lost. She didn't get reelected. But anyway, right now, the big news this week, and I love this news, is that Chicago Mayor Lightfoot, this is from NBC. I think I've got this. NBC5 Chicago. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot sent a letter to Texas Governor Greg Abbott on Sunday, urging his administration to stop what she called the inhumane and dangerous action of busing migrants to Chicago. Now, listen, she was the one person that voted and was like adamantly boisterous about, you know, Trump's wall, Trump's troops. She called the National Guard Trump's troops. Like, you can't call the National Guard Trump's troops because a lot of those guys were in way before Trump. I bet you the majority of the troops at that time came in under Obama's administration.
And probably over half of them probably didn't even vote for his ass. So
you're going to call the National Guard Trump's troops, and not think that you're going to lose all that vote.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't vote for somebody that calls me Trump's troops. Like, I'd be like, bitch, fuck, like, get out of here with that. So she goes all in on this, right? Well, Texas is taking the brunt of all this, right? Like, I've always thought that they made it political. We did need a wall. Any country would have put a wall up. Every country does put walls up. They put things in place. You can't just allow people to freely come over in the United States unchecked, unhinged. It's not safe for anybody. It's not common sense.
Exactly.
And so Texas is being overran with a record amount of immigrants coming through their borders.
Oh, yeah.
Hundreds of thousands a day.
Yeah.
And so they bust 8,000 to Chicago. But they didn't do it just to Chicago. They did it to every sanctuary city. San Francisco, LA, New York. Like, she wasn't the only one.
Right.
But you know what? You can't, and like, listen, I get it that that's a troll move, and I'd love to hear your opinion on it too. Like, I do think it's a funny political move, but at the same time, I don't think that Texas needs to hold the brunt of a national problem. Right. And to think that illegal immigrants are just staying into, like, basically the way Lori Lightfoot puts it is that illegal immigrants, it's inhumane to ship them to Chicago. You think that they're just coming across the border to stop in Texas forever?
Exactly.
They're not trying to get to Texas.
No.
They're trying to get to anywhere in the United States.
Anywhere that they can have a better life.
And if you're a sanctuary city, you're basically saying
Yep.
Did you have a better chance here than anywhere else?
Exactly. If you can get here, you're welcome.
Yeah. So if you just busting, I'm like,
You
I don't
know?
see like what her argument is for this.
Right.
Now I do think he is being a troll, and I think
Oh,
he
yeah.
is doing it for political clout and to be funny. But I also agree, like if he was doing it in real life and not just trying to be an asshole,
Right.
like I do think it's like it is a pretty smart thing to do.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't want like if North Carolina was getting hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrants a day unchecked. And it was increasing the fentanyl, which it is in Texas, fentanyl deaths, overdoses, cocaine, all the bad things like rape, all that stuff is going up. There's no debating that. Not saying that all illegal immigrants are bad, but I mean, when you have any kind of a person from any culture that's unchecked, that's trying to flee another country, there's nothing to stop the bad people trying to flee that country as well, right?
Oh,
so
I know exactly what you're talking about. Hell, in 94, 95. I worked Safe Haven in Panama, where the Cuban immigrants was coming to the United States, and we intercepted them and we set up camps. We had like 6 camps.
I was like the movie Scarface.
Yeah, it was crazy, man. We got in fights and everything.
Really?
They whooped our ass.
Did they?
Yeah, they was setting stuff on fire. We had to go up in there with our riot gear and everything, but we try to basically pick and choose
your
who
battles.
Come over to the United.
I
come to the States. But all the criminals we had an actual, a camp. It was a prison camp.
Yeah,
for all the ones that was documented that was criminals, drug lords, all that. We had them in one camp, and we shipped their ass back. They had to go back.
But you know what? Like Lori Lightfoot never would have this problem if she just shut her fucking mouth. Yeah. And I said that 3 years ago. I said, Lori Lightfoot, I said this, you can go back and I challenge anybody to go back to any of my Lori Lightfoot episodes and pull this clip. It's almost verbatim, where I said, Lori Lightfoot wakes up every day and tries to figure out how she can get in the news by tweeting or saying, people used to make fun of Donald Trump's tweets. They are nothing compared to Lori Lightfoot's dumbass tweets. Wow. She would wake up every day and say the most insanely racist, there was a Tim Dillon, a comedian, did a whole breakdown on one of her Yelp reviews on a limo company where she gave a limo company, like the limo driver's name was Carlos. And he said that Carlos went into her house and peed on their toilet seat and didn't put the seat up and all this other stuff. Well, so she wrote a bad review and wrote all the stuff that Carlos didn't know where he was driving. And then he rudely asked for a male's phone number so that he could get in contact in case the girls' phones died. And when Lori Lightfoot asked why would the girls' phones die, and she said, well, he said typically girls like to take a lot of pictures when they go out on the town for the night. And so like we like to have one extra phone number. And so she's like, but why did you ask the male? And he really didn't have an answer, or he did have an answer, but she didn't like quote his answer. Instead, she gives him a 4-star review and puts the quote in her Yelp review, which you can go and read it. It's hilarious. Go watch the Tim Dillon where he reads the whole thing and makes fun of it. It's great. But she basically in her review says that he's a sexist, misogynistic, picked out all dumb girls, that she's not some young dumb girl out on the town taking pictures, which would infer that young girls are dumb and take pictures. Like she's the one that's insinuating that, which is silly. But the limo company fights back. The limo company fights back, and they have dash cam and video and GPS on the limo. Wow. So they say we pulled his dash cam and he never left the vehicle. So for you to say that he came into your house and peed and didn't put the seat up and peed all over the seat, you were having a party that night. Was it somebody else at your house that before you got in the limo that went and peed? Why would you blame it on Carlos? But we see that Carlos, and none of our limo drivers would ever get out of their car and go use somebody else's bathroom. It's like cops. Like we don't use bathrooms at people's houses. Period.
Hell no.
Hell no.
I don't even like using bathrooms at the gas station. You know, I try to get back to the station.
I can't tell you a single time that I've ever used the bathroom at a victim or suspect's house. I'll just hold that shit. I'll go in the backyard. I'll go in the backyard, like go hide behind the bushes or something. But so that was number one. Then number two, they checked the GPS, and the route that he did was an approved limo route for, like, they have approved like taxi routes and limo routes for late night Chicago. And some streets, and she should know, were closed because they closed streets.
That's bad when you have to have a route at night that you don't go down that road.
Well, I don't think it's
You know?
that though. I think it's because you know how like Raleigh will shut down one-way streets for big festivals or like Friday night, like first Friday night. I think it was that.
You sure?
Maybe not.
'Cause
I mean, but you don't want to end up on Southside Chicago either.
Exactly.
For sure.
Not after dark. That's why I believe when what's the kid name off the show that
Jussie
chose the
Smollett?
line? Yeah. I think that's why
Juicy.
everybody kind of, at first, before they found out all them damn lies he told, you in Chicago at 2:00 in the morning
during a polar vortex.
Right. So everybody, his lie won't tight. He didn't have a really good lie.
Hey, come on. Jussie Smollett is not eating Subway at 2 in the morning.
2 o'clock in the morning. When you rich,
no.
You rich,
fuck no, dude.
Shit. But wherever you staying at, they deliver.
They're delivering that shit.
You know what I'm saying? He's rich enough to have a cook, somebody to go out and get it and bring it to him. He ain't gonna be out at no 2 o'clock.
Dude, look, Jussie Smollett is not a man of the people. Like that bitch ain't going to fucking.
No.
Now I could see, I could see Keanu Reeves doing some shit like that.
Now that dude, yeah,
because he does shit like that.
But exactly, but he go unnoticed. He has the long hair,
the beard,
how he dressed.
Right.
This man is worth probably $150 million, but he dressed like he doesn't. He bought his shoes at Payless Shoes, and he shop at Wal-Mart. Well, nothing ain't wrong with Wal-Mart, but Kmart or something.
But Juicy ain't shopping at Kmart.
Right. No, he Gucci down.
He's letting you know he's a celebrity. That's
exactly,
just his style.
Exactly.
No knock on that.
He wearing a scarf and everything. He just all his diamonds and jewelry is flashy. So yeah, all that stuff, man. Yeah. She out of office. What is her plans now? What is she gonna do now?
She's gone. She's and her political thing, like she has no political history at all. Like she's everybody, like unanimously across the board, like everybody hated her. The chief of police hated her, of course. The Fraternal Order of Police hated her, of course.
Let me ask you, is she from Chicago?
Yeah.
See, that's even worse. How you gonna be hated by your place where you was born and bred?
I mean, I don't know if she was born there,
you
but I
know?
know that she's from there. Like I know that she lives there,
right?
married
that's
there.
even that's like I said, that's bad when you walk out your house, people mumbling under their breath. I can't stand that bitch. I don't wear that shit,
I mean, she just says like the meanest shit. Like it's unbelievable to listen to her. Like, dude, I could go back. I mean, I've already done so many rants on Lori Lightfoot and what she said that's stupid.
So she never really. I'm pretty sure that officers had involved shootings in Chicago. I'm wondering. So by her being anti-police, she didn't have their back at all.
No,
even if it was justified,
Yeah. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can find some other. I just don't want to like. I don't want to like quote her off. If you go back to my other episodes, my older episodes, like every time she said something stupid in the news, I would like report on it right then. But this letter that she's got to, she continued on in her little letters, urging the governor to treat these individuals with respect and dignity that they deserve, saying to tell them to go to Chicago or to inhumanely bust them here is an inviolable and misleading choice. Oh, why is it a misleading choice to send them to Chicago, Lori? Is that not as safe as you tell everybody it is? Like, what's so bad about sending them to your city, Lori? Why is it inhumane to send them to Chicago?
She's lazy. She don't want to put in the work. She don't want to. I don't know. Like you said, there's a reason.
Well, this is what his response was, is that this is not a state versus state or a city versus city problem. The immigration crisis is a national challenge that requires national collaboration for the good of our country. And listen, I do agree with the fact that it's like, if she is going to shit on you for wanting a border wall and shit on you for voting, and I've always said that you got to vote on, on your conscience, right? And what we've made it is that if you vote for Trump, you're bad. If you vote for Biden, you're bad. No. Listen, if you're gay and you need some more gay rights and your rights, or if you're black and you need more black representation, then you got to vote for that representation. Right. You got to vote for that. I'm not gay and I'm not black. Right. And I don't need black representation because I live in a predominantly white area. Right. So I'm not affected by it. So it's not important to me. What is important to me is that I'm a business owner and I'm a father of 5. So what's important to me is tax money on my business and how in my kids' education.
Right.
So that's what I vote on. I don't vote on abortion because I don't have abortions.
Right.
I don't vote on gay shit because I'm not fucking gay.
Right.
But I don't hate you for voting on gay shit if you're gay. Like that's what you got to
Right.
vote for, right? So
but-
if this guy needs Trump to get a wall, then he's got to vote for. He's got to back Trump because that's what's important to him. If having immigrants out of his state is important to him, then he has to back the guy that's going to put up a wall. Doesn't mean that he loves Trump. Doesn't mean that he likes Trump. I mean, I don't know what Governor Abbott thinks of Trump or not. I don't know. But I know that Lori Lightfoot was very boisterous about him not getting that wall and very boisterous about Trump being, the monster he was for wanting to put up a wall. Well, if you're not going to give us a wall, then you got to take some part of the responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the wall with Trump, I just wish he, if he is going to build up a wall, build it all the way around the United States. Don't just say we're going to keep the Mexicans out. That's what a lot of people was thinking.
Yeah.
It was like, well, you got people coming from down in Florida. There's a lot of, Cubans.
But it's a lot harder to get from Cuba to Florida. And then they do have like the Coast Guard. They spend tons of money.
Right.
Of course, Border Patrol spends a lot of money. And also your target's like pretty narrow in Florida. Your target for Mexico is massive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like you could, and there's really no obstacles. I mean, except fucking heinous deserts and a river.
Well, I mean,
I just think that I just think that the Mexican immigration part, and they're not even just Mexican, they're Honduras, Ecuador, a lot of that. Like I think that the problem is that you don't have hundreds of thousands of any other person coming in here.
Right.
So like we can deal with illegal immigrants from Romania, because what are we dealing with? Like 200 a day?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like how many Cubans are coming across per day? It's the hundreds.
Oh yeah.
Hundreds. But with Mexicans and Hondurans and Ecuadors on the southern border, we're talking hundreds of thousands.
Oh yeah, they're coming up in here.
So, and I understand, like, listen, people have different feelings
and
about
the thing about it, and see, that's the funny thing. People, like you said, they holler, defund the police. Okay, when you say police, we're not just talking about Barney and Andy, in Mount Airy, North Carolina. You talking about federal agents, their law enforcement, DEA, Border Patrol. That's who guard those borders, the Border Patrol. You talk about defunding them as well,
right?
Who's gonna be there to stop?
You can't have it all.
Over?
You can't have it all. You can't defund and get rid of a wall.
Exactly.
And then which is why I just think it's so hilarious that now, in the waking hour, it's too late for her anyway. I don't know why she gives a shit.
Right.
Let's see. In September, after one of the first groups of migrants arrived in the city, Lightfoot issued a welcome to the migrants, but also blasted Abbott's immigration policies as racist and xenophobic. Again, if I'm the governor of Texas, I'm protecting Texans.
Exactly. That's
it.
That's her thing. Yeah. Keep your mouth shut and just.
And had she not been on a radar and not a change,
Chicago.
like, I mean, it's a ridiculous policy, like a sanctuary city. Like, forgive me if I'm wrong, but like, I think that's kind of horseshit. A sanctuary fucking city. Like we're all no cops aren't out there abusing Mexicans. Like I never saw one cop that was like, I hate Mexicans and I'm gonna arrest a whole bunch of Mexicans. It was like, we know in Raleigh, but there was no sanctuary city.
Right.
In 2012, when I was training as a rookie, I know of the Mexican apartment complex, which is all illegal immigrants, and I know the Mexican trailer park.
Oh yeah.
And I know there's more than one, and I know where both of them are in Raleigh. No, how often did we ever go to those places? And they're all illegal.
Yeah.
Like 90% of them are illegal. We never went in there and fucked with them ever.
Because they mind their business.
Sure.
They stayed low key. When the spot was blowed up, that's when they asked bounce. And they bounced with Mexico. Man.
Or and then they would whoop the ass of whoever started shit in the trailer park because they don't want that heat.
Because all of them, excuse me, a lot of them, you'd be like, I need your ID. And you get their ID. They wouldn't have driver's license.
Right.
But all of them had nice cars. And, you're like, they always had large cash on them. And he was like, they always want to pay everything in cash. And they would have their ID cards and you would look and you'd be like, something ain't right. And then you look at the name. You look at the card and you're like, man, where'd you get this card? we did an investigation when I was in Clayton, Clayton PD. Come to find out, somebody was making those cars. They was making packages. They was giving them like a gift package. They as soon as they got off, however they crossed the border, when they hit, they gave them a package, and they lived in the house. They went into the house. That's how we was joking about how you have a house, a 2-bedroom house, and it'd be 5 families in there. Well, they would go up in there, and they would contribute to that household, to the groceries,
and then have fuck tons of money because all the dudes are working.
Exactly.
They're all getting paid under the table.
Exactly. And they don't eat out. If they did eat out, they went to the legal immigrants that was here that own food trucks. And that's where they would eat out. You ain't never see a lot of Hispanics at
Red Lobster.
Right. They want that Chick-fil-A and shit, you know. They ass was eating damn tacos off the taco truck, you know.
That's right, man. You're right, man. Like, I don't even see a lot of Mexicans at Golden Corral.
No. Now they will eat the hell out some Chinese food. They love Chinese food.
Who doesn't love Chinese food?
I know, but they be back there cooking it.
I might get it tonight.
They're cooking it.
I might get some fucking General Tso's chicken tonight.
Hey,
you like Chinese food?
Yeah. Well, it depends on where.
I'm
very picky.
Listen,
I'm very picky.
I think the shittier the Chinese restaurant, the better it tastes.
Oh no.
That one right here in the food line. How about that one?
I hate it.
Fucking love it.
I can't.
I love it.
Emperor's Choice. I'll go ahead and put the name out.
Emperor's Choice. Where's that?
Yes.
That one's by the other
one
food
by
line.
Food Line. No, that's one Food Line on 70.
Right here
In Clayton. Yeah.
That's the best one. You don't like it?
Hell no.
Which one do you not like?
I went to the bathroom.
Oh, dude, it's nasty.
Across from the bathroom. I just went in there to piss.
Oh, it's nasty.
I looked across. They had the flapping doors.
Yeah.
And the doors was open.
Sure.
And they had like 2 buckets of egg rolls already cooked, already done. And they sitting on the damn shelf.
That's why they're so good.
Damn, why they ain't refrigerated or covered up or something? Then they had a big ass 55-gallon drum full of blood. It looked like full of blood stuff. I'm like, what the fuck is that? That's
what it is.
You know
what that is. That's that cat noodle.
Right.
That's that dog and rice, dude.
I can't do it. I can't.
You don't like cat noodle?
Hell, I like pets.
It's like Popeye's chicken for me. If it's a nice if it looks like a Chick-fil-A Popeyes, I won't eat there. I gotta have my Popeyes. Gotta be run down, nasty. It's gotta have a 94 or below rating.
Nah.
That's the only time Popeye's chicken tastes good is when it's got a shitty, dirty rating. That's when it's good. No. Yes,
the building.
Mexican restaurants are the same way. You go to a shitty, nasty Mexican restaurant. It's always the best.
I can't do it. My stomach says no. I mean, it could smell good.
It's because you're bougie
and eat it, man. But my stomach tells me no, and I listen to my stomach.
Listen to your stomach.
Exactly. And
when it's calling for you.
My stomach was run. That means I better run my ass to the bathroom because I'm about to run. I'm about to have the shits, and that's why I can't do that. I have. Can't do it.
Well, I have just spent almost this entire show shitting on Lori Lightfoot, which is exciting to me. But I know that we've got some other things to talk about really fast. We got a hero. Oh my God, I just burped. We were talking about food and I just burped right in the microphone.
All in the mic. I hope that's your personal mic. I don't want to get that mic next week.
You got your own mic.
Be sniffing and be like, oh, that shit smell like Chinese food you ate.
This is a 7th grader in Warren, Michigan, is being hailed as a hero after his quick thinking averted a disaster aboard a school bus. Louise E. Carter middle schooler Dylan Reeves hurried to grab the steering wheel and slam on the brakes as the bus was veering towards oncoming traffic moments after the bus driver began feeling lightheaded and then lost consciousness.
Hero.
There goes my. But it's pretty ballsy, right? Like to jump out of your seat and run up there and grab the wheel.
Right. And I heard he told other kids, he said, call 911.
Oh,
and he jumped up there and grabbed, the steering wheel. And
it's like the movie Speed.
Yes. You know what? I'm like this. How old was he? 7th grade?
7th grade, yeah.
So he's probably about 11, 12.
Yeah. 12. Yeah.
Shit. Fuck waiting 16. Give him his license.
Give him his license. That's a great idea.
Give him his license now.
Give him a key to the city with a license.
Because there's kids that's 16 that's in driver's ed. Failed that motherfucker done went twice, wouldn't have done that shit that he just did. Come on.
That's ballsy, dude.
Yes.
Because that windshield's huge and you're going through that shit.
Exactly. I mean,
that was pretty ballsy. I like it.
Yeah. He did it. He did.
Yeah. So anyway, there goes that's our hero of the week this week. Our zero of the week this week. And oh, by the way, for you YouTube guys out there, we apologize because Deadleg's not here to give you all the graphics that we normally have. But he'll be back next week. He had to go pick his mother-in-law up from China.
He went to China?
Yeah, I guess they flew to China to pick her up and bring her back.
Ooh, shit.
She just retired.
So he been gone since yesterday. Then
He'll be back. He'll be back tomorrow though.
It's a big time difference.
This is Indiana elementary school employees charged after special needs students allegedly forced to eat his own vomit.
Damn, they cold, ain't they?
Dude, there's some cold looking bitches too. Indiana elementary school employees are facing charges after a 7-year-old special needs student was allegedly forced to eat his own vomit in the lunchroom with a spoon as others. What kind of diabolical sick shit is this? Right. The Hendrick County Prosecutor's Office filed charges Tuesday afternoon against 4 Brownsburg Community School Corporation employees and 1 third-party independent contractor. Brown Elementary life skills teacher Sarah Seymour, 27 years old, and Brown Elementary life skills instructor aide Deborah Kindpe at 63 were each charged with neglect of a dependent as a level 6 felony and failure to report a Class B misdemeanor. Gross.
They should make them eat their shit in prison. I'm serious. That's
really released a lot about it. Like, my question is did the kids, like, was it some bullies making this kid eat it and they just happened to be on watch? Let's see. According to a probable cause affidavit, police established through various interviews and other evidence that Seymour allegedly is said to have told the victim that if he vomited, he would be required to eat what he threw up.
Oh, dang.
Taylor was present and provided a tray for the child to vomit on. The lunchroom showing the victim seated at the table eating, and at some point the child stands up appearing to gag on his food. He is then instructed to sit down. After the victim did indeed vomit, Kindpe allegedly provided the spoon that the child was compelled to use to consume the vomit.
See, I would have took that spoon, got a spoonful of it, and plucked it right in their damn face.
My question is, why do you care so much?
That's just, yeah.
Why do you care so much about what this kid eats? You know, right. Like,
and then you're gonna make
it your kid.
I mean, come on. You know,
ooh.
That's just like a dog, a puppy. Puppy. My dad reminded me the other day. My puppy shitted on the carpet, and I was like, "This motherfucker." So I'm like, let me go get something to clean up. He said, "You should make him eat it." I said, "What?"
That's so old school.
Yeah, my dad don't give a shit.
Put his face in it.
Yeah, he's gonna rub his face, his nose in the doo-doo. He won't do it again. I said, that's bullshit, because he shit it right after I did it again, just in another location of the house. That's why his ass outside now. You know, like that. No in-house dog. I never liked them anyway in the house.
I hate dogs in the house. But dude, like, I'm not gonna get into it now. But I did have I went out of town and I have a neighbor kid come over and like let my dog out for an hour or two, and then he brings him back in. And I got a call from animal control while I was on vacation that said the neighbor is calling and complaining that your dog is in the backyard without a bowl to drink out of, a bowl of water. I said, the dog lives inside the house. It has its own fucking couch. Right. It has his own couch in the day room. It's his own couch. Nobody sits on it but him. The bitch sits inside all the day. He barks to go outside to be next to the boys while they're on the trampoline. We have leashes by the trampoline. We got leashes in the front yard. The dog gets whatever he wants. Right. He eats our plates clean at the end of the night. I mean, fuck.
He eats and sleeps better than me.
Yeah, he's fucking spoiled ass rotten dog. Like, doesn't pay bills, doesn't do shit, doesn't contribute to the family at all. The motherfucker doesn't even like keep criminals out. Criminal comes in, he's like, "What's up, dude?" Like,
he got a better health plan than my ass.
Yeah, right. Fuck out of here. He doesn't have a bowl for an hour. I had shit to drink all day.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I can't get a little bottle of water. He eating good. Oh gosh, people. See, my dogs was raised different. My dogs ate what we ate. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go. Now I spoil my dog. I have a pit, and I spoil him. I go to Petco. I'm not gonna lie. I go to Petco, Petmart.
God, I told you you're bougie as fuck.
I buy him food. I refuse to let him eat the same shit my old dogs, my past dogs. And then my daddy was like, all our dogs live to be 15 years old. And you can imagine 15 times however many fucking years it is. The dogs are, they old, they be old as shit. They live a long time. So it ain't nothing wrong with them eating the same type of food we eat. I'm like, Daddy, dogs don't eat chitlins. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Collard greens, you know, candy yams. I mean, he be giving them, when we have Thanksgiving dinner, them motherfuckers eat Thanksgiving dinner, Yeah, you're like, come on, it's crazy, man. You can't do your pets like that. You got to give them.
I do. Mine are
right
spoiled.
dogs,
Mine are spoiled too. I hate it. All right, here's our crime of the week. Breezing right through all this stuff. Police say man continued to date a girl, not continue to date, but he continued to be on a date. Like he was on a date with a girl after he fatally shot a dude over $40. So this was a Texas guy. He went on a date with a girl. And he paid $40 to park, only to learn that when he got inside the burger joint, like, by the way, I love that this asshole goes on a date to a burger joint.
Right. Who need valet? Who need valet to go to a fucking McDonald's or some shit? You know, Whataburger, you know, Jack in the Box, you know, Checkers, you know.
I guess he couldn't afford the burger after the parking. $40 is a lot to park.
Yeah, his meal was like $5.99 and shit for both of them. He had a coupon, buy one, get one free. But yet your dumb ass paid $40.
This gets better. So he finds out not only did he pay $40 to park, but when he gets into the burger joint, he sits down with his date and learns that, oh, that's a fake attendant. And it's not $40 to park there. You just got ripped off. So the guy's name is Eric.
Something about them fucking Erics, ain't it?
Yeah, but he spells his name like a fucking idiot. E-R-I-C-K.
Oh,
fuck out of here with that.
You know, he
So he told his date that everything was fine and that he just scared the man after he leaves the restaurant to go scare the man. But instead, when he goes out there, by the way, the restaurant was the Rodeo Goat.
Oh, wow. The Rodeo Goat.
He says he started walking to the table, but he left to eat someplace after Aguirre looked uncomfortable. According to court records, Aguirre's date contacted police 2 days later after police had released photos of the couple who had been identified by Crime Stoppers. She wanted to do the right thing and make sure that that he came forward because she didn't know he did it. Right. This motherfucker went outside, shoots this dude to death, comes back in, sits down. Fucking business as normal. He's like, I'll have the Baconator with cheese.
Yeah. Well done, please.
Well done.
Extra fries,
please.
Can you refill my lemonade?
Yeah.
She's like,
so tell me a little bit about yourself.
Oh, you got some ketchup on you. Oh, that's not ketchup. That's blood.
She's like, here, let me suck that off of you. You know, like he's like,
nah, you don't want that.
Nah, you don't want that.
He might be.
That's fucking cold, dude.
Ain't it?
Be like, all right, $40, bitch. I got your $40.
I mean, yeah. I mean, now here's the thing. Did he get his money back before he shot the guy? Did he get his money back?
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you know, he killed.
His bond was only set at $200,000.
See, and that's what I'm mad at. How the hell you shoot and kill somebody over 40? Okay, yeah, he was a victim, but he didn't do it the right way. He went back.
It's also Texas. That might be like the maximum bond for that kind of shit. But it seems a little premeditated to me.
Somebody, yeah, because he already knew when he.
Well, you're a bondsman. What's the bond in North Carolina if you go and shoot somebody stone cold dead?
Oh, if he go and kill somebody, and it won't like self-defense.
No,
whatnot,
that's not self-defense.
Shit, he looking at $1 million. $750,000 on up.
Yeah, but like, what does he got to pay to get out
in North Carolina? Up to 15%.
Right. So I wonder.
So say if it was $1 million, a lot of bonds were going to charge him probably no less than 10%. So they gonna have to come off with $100,000 off the bat.
So maybe this guy had to come off with $200,000. Maybe his bond was $2 million.
If his bond was $200,000, he probably about $20,000. If they probably
no, but I'm saying like, what if his bond was $2 million? He'd have to pay $200,000.
Right.
So yeah,
that's if it's 10%. Now a lot of times that people don't have that type of money.
Because I think 200,000 is a little low.
It is
like
low.
That might just be a misprint of a report. Like he might have came up with $200,000.
Probably, yeah, that might have been his. Yeah.
Which I don't see how you come up with $200,000 when you're taking your girl out to a burger joint at the fucking gay rodeo.
Hell, even if he went to Ruth Christie or whatever that damn restaurant name, the Angus Barn, all that. Even if he went there, your ass still, come on now.
Yeah. All right. So here's our Florida crime of the week this week. Ready for our Florida crime of the week? A robbery suspect stole a car robbed somebody. Well, I'll just read the article. This is actually from Fox News. A robbery suspect leading Florida police on a high-speed chase was shot 8 times by a convenience store. So in a Facebook post, the Flagler County Sheriff, which I grew up right next to Flagler County, says that Quintavis,
just call him
common
Q.
spelling.
Just call him Q.
Q Kwame Jordan. That's his full government name is Quintavious Kwame Jordan. walked into a Shell gas station. And first of all, fuck you, mom, for putting that kid through that.
With that name.
That motherfucker won't be able to spell his name until he was
Well, he don't.
10th
That's
grade.
why they call him Q. He'll sit in class and a white teacher will murder his name. He'll holler out, just call me Q. And she'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try. My son's name is
Right.
Elkin, Elkin.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, thank God it's a weird name, but there's only like 5 letters to it.
Right.
This kid's name is QWINNTAVUSKWAME.
Y-E. Look, why? They just,
Oh,
the
fuck.
alphabet. They gave that motherfucker the alphabet.
Poor
name.
guy. That's why he's pissed.
Yeah.
So he walks into a Shell gas station in Flagler Beach, which I don't know why he didn't go for the Gate gas station. A lot nicer. Alluded to having a firearm. And then he robbed the store of $90 in cash. The police locate him on I-95, of course, and they chase him all the way up into Georgia, where Georgia State Patrol takes over. They hit him with stop sticks. It works. He ditches the car and runs into a convenience store, brandishes a firearm, and the clerk says, "Not today, motherfucker," and shoots him 8 times.
Damn. Well. Well, hey. Some stuff just work themselves
Dude,
out.
fuck, don't do that shit in the South, dude. Take that shit to New York, where a convenience store guy doesn't have a gun.
Exactly.
Like, you're in the South, dude.
Everybody got a gun.
Everybody's got a gun.
Long
You can't just be
barrel.
Can't be just
Double
brandishing
shotgun.
guns around.
Right. Shit, this is a what? Carry? You can carry open carry state too?
Yeah.
Shit. Come on now. Every little convenience store have one. I wouldn't be surprised you go to Food Line and damn somebody.
God, he
walk out,
got
you know.
plugged 8 times.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, fucking don't be stupid. Pervert of the week.
Oh,
You want a pervert of the week?
yeah, there's always
We always got to have a pervert of the week. Gilbert School District warns parents after nurse arrested for possible sex crimes. This was a male nurse. I've never trusted male nurses.
No.
Ever. I got a couple friends who are male nurses. I don't
Yeah.
trust them.
I know a former officer that became a nurse.
I just don't want to be called a nurse. Can't we come up with a cooler name for male nurses?
Orderly? Well, no, because they're not. Orderlies are just helpers. They don't,
Why do you say orderlies with like
Orderly.
a white voice?
Orderly.
Orderlies.
Because we don't. I mean, black folk be like, here, nurse. He a male nurse. He's a nurse.
Well, this guy's a male nurse. His name's Carl Markley. And exploitation of a minor during a physical exam. So essentially, this guy was giving sports exams. And he got accused of molesting a teenager, which, okay. Now, I read this with a grain of salt at first because, maybe the kid didn't want to get his balls touched to have to cough. I didn't like it either.
Kid was probably 15 years old, and he's giving him a prostate exam.
Well, yeah, right. So, but like, I can also see like some kind of like toxic football player. And like the
Right.
guy goes, he's like, "Oh, you fucking queer." And he slaps him in the face and he's like, "This guy's a fucking queer, molested my balls, man." Because he got a boner when it happened and he's embarrassed. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But like, I could see something like that happening. But no, they do like a search warrant on this dude's house and they find a whole bunch of like child pornography
See?
and a bunch of child sex tapes. So, he was doing it.
Yeah.
And, you got to be careful, man. Anytime that somebody is in a target rich environment, I've always said this, it's not, is there a pedophile in my church? It's who's the pedophile in my church?
Right.
It's not like is there a pedophile teacher here? No, it's like, who's the pedophile teacher? Because pedophiles are going to go where they can find kids and they're going to get jobs where it's a target rich environment. So I guess even like the male nurse that's making little boys cough, just had a bunch of, so now they're putting a thing out that's like, hey, if any other kids want to come forward, because it seems like there's a bunch of you.
All it takes is one to come out.
Yep. All right. Last article of the night. This is our dumbass or smartass you decide criminal of the week. Man, and so this is comes out of carscoop.com. Carscoop.com. Man in stolen Dodge Charger runs into a Walmart and pretends to be an employee to evade police. The man was eventually found in a back stock room, and he reportedly ran from police once identified again. But dumb criminals are a dime a dozen, so it's somewhat refreshing to see one who can think on their feet. The story begins on Friday night around 9:35 p.m. when members of the Michigan State Police Aviation Unit were patrolling the skies over Metro Detroit during their watch. they noticed a black Dodge Charger driving recklessly at a high rate of speed on both freeways and surface streets. They called in ground support, and a sergeant attempted to make a traffic stop. The suspect fled, and instead of engaging in a pursuit, the helicopter continued following the car for approximately 45 minutes. There's a great video of this too, by the way. After driving all over Wayne County, the Charger pulled in front of a Walmart, and he and the driver ran inside. Interestingly, police said that the 20-year-old man from Redford attempted to disguise himself as a Walmart worker and was found in the back stock room pretending to stock shelves. Once troopers identified the suspect, he ran through the store again until he was taken into custody near the front door.
See, that's where he fucked up, because he went to the back and try to stock shelves. If his ass would have he could have been a greeter. If police would have walked right past his muck ass
and pointed which way the guy
right,
went.
right. Hey, hi, officers.
You look like I just ran through here?
Yeah, he went in the back somewhere. And while the officers run their ass in the back, he would have ran out the front. Could have walked right out the front. And probably would have got paid too. I'm
going to give him a little bit of a credit for thinking about it.
All right.
It was a good thought.
Yeah.
Poor execution.
Yeah. Because you don't. That's the first place they go.
But the thought is what
stock
counts.
room. That's the first place.
Yeah,
you're gonna look for somebody who runs in Walmart and try to blend in. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a bunch of crazy looking people be in Walmart.
Yeah,
but nobody fucks with the greeter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If he would have just stood there.
You gonna be a greeter? You're damn near old enough to be a greeter,
right?
Yeah. You gonna be one?
No, because I wouldn't greet everybody. I'd be trying to hit on her. Hey girl, come here, girl.
You don't think the greeters already do that? Dude, the one greeter that's at Walmart, he's awesome. I love him. He's been there. Yeah, you know him. Yeah. Dude, he cannot get his eyes off my wife's tits. Every time she comes through, he's like, I don't blame him. She's got great yabos. I don't blame him, man. I fist bump him while he's looking. I feel like I just got cuckolded by him, though. Yeah. He's like staring at her tits while fist bumping me. He's telling me to be quiet. Shh.
Yeah, he don't even ask for your receipt.
No, he's just staring at her tits.
Hey, how you doing? Look at her.
Oh man. Oh, well, that was a good episode, man. I'm sorry I took up 25 minutes shitting on Lori Lightfoot, but it's been a while since I got to shit on her, and I feel like our old school listeners would just really appreciate it, especially since she had the new news. And I'm gonna be sad when she's gone, because that's a little bit of content that I'm not gonna have.
Well, maybe she'll do something fucked up again.
Honestly,
they always try to stay,
I know, but I really think, and that's the thing. If she tries to stay relevant, I don't think you can get any more shame than she has. I mean, it's embarrassing. That when you're a black female lesbian in a 100% Democrat city, and then all the Democrats who love black lesbian women vote your ass out, and you don't even come in third place in your first year, and you're the first ones in 40 years to have it. But
see, here's the thing. This is where she go. I don't even know what her regular job, what she did to get in there.
Yeah,
she's like a
she was a career politician. Okay. I mean,
now that
she's never had a real
now
job.
That's out the question. She ain't running for governor or nothing like that. No, she's not gonna get elected. Now she's gonna come out with books. She's gonna write. Yeah. I guarantee she's gonna do books, and she's gonna shit on the government. She's gonna shit on Chicago. Yeah. She's gonna all the people that she's gonna write a book, and she's gonna have her following the people that helped voted her, that supported her.
So if you ever watch Parks and Rec, if you ever watch it, it's a very white show. It's not a lot of color in that show, but it's very accurate on how government works. And there's one season where they're recalling Leslie Knope. She wins, but then they're going to recall. And all it really takes is people love to get on that fire. It's like the Dallas Cowboys, right? When they lose one game, everybody loves to pile it on. Everybody loves to pile it on.
But don't let us win, though.
Right. But you get what I'm saying, though? Like, whenever you start losing, everybody loves to shit on the Dallas Cowboys. That's always been a thing. So it was the same thing with Lori Lightfoot. Once she lost her grip, the whole city shit on her. I mean, nobody's got anything nice. She doesn't have a following, I don't think. I don't think there's a lot of people out there. I think the only people that have anything good to say about her are white, pink-haired women that don't live in Chicago, that just want that whole ideal. Because nobody wants a black female lesbian more than a white woman with pink or blue hair.
Are they lesbians too?
No, but they just feel like some kind of it's just like they feel some kind of incoherent need to signal their virtue to say, nobody wants a black female lesbian more than I do. Right. Because
you know what? with the lesbian stuff, to me, if she's an ugly woman, good for her. I'm glad. Take her. You know what I'm saying?
I
Take
see
her.
what you did there.
See, a lot of people, oh man, you do lesbian women. No, if she's ugly as fuck,
Get her off the market.
Let her go.
Get her off the market, man.
That's leave all the cute ones to me.
Right. Get the brim out of the bass pond.
Right. Yeah. Take them.
I got it.
The ugly ones, and they can be
That's
happy.
genius,
themselves.
dude.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
You know
If she writes a book, I'm gonna buy it.
Well, see,
though.
that's just like gay men. A lot of people
Mhm.
talking about gay men. I like gay men.
Yeah.
I like them. Go ahead and be gay, because guess what? That means that's one less dude I have to compete with trying to get women. And not only that's one less dude, actually it's more because he's taking another one with him.
Man.
See what I'm saying? Exactly. So
Dude.
if I'm in a room and there's 4 or 5 gay dudes and there's this one nice fine chick sitting over there, guess what?
What?
I don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
They gonna be trying to holler at each other.
See, dude, a lot of us out there playing
Bad.
checkers. A lot of us homophobes.
Yeah.
Homophobes in quotes. Out here playing checkers. You out here playing chess.
That's
dude.
it. That's it.
Damn.
Man, shoot, I have nothing against them. Let them
You
do
know,
what
I
they do.
never had a really, who you want to have sex with is who you want to have sex
That's
with. I
true.
don't think anybody has a problem with that. I think the majority of America, I really do think the majority of America just doesn't give a fuck
Right.
what your kinks are. Just
Right.
keep that shit to yourself. Like, I don't understand like why you have to run on your sexual orientation.
Right.
Like,
Well,
my name's Eric Tansey and I fuck women.
but you know what? It's
Fuck
in
cares?
everything now. If you look at it,
Every commercial.
I was talking to a friend the other day about it. We was like, man, in the entertainment, with acting, we was watching a show, or he saw a show and he called me. He said, Jay, he said, why almost every show they have homosexual activity in it now?
Every one of them does. Dude.
Every show.
all the good ones.
Yeah. Oh my-
White Lotus, great
Oh,
film.
yeah.
Both seasons had to put the most fucking horrendous gay scenes in there, like some underage boy eating another old ass man's
You know what I'm
asshole.
saying?
Like, that's really shameful.
But here's my thing,
and
though.
it had nothing to do with the
Well,
story.
check it out. This is what I told him. I said, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Think about it. Think about if you was a gay man, Tansey.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Hypothetically, I'm a gay man.
If you got too many damn kids.
That's
I know you like
you know how I
this.
know I'm not gay?
Huh.
I sucked a dick and I didn't like it.
Oh damn.
I didn't like it. So
Oh,
I know I'm
damn.
not gay. How do you know you're not gay?
Because I sucked my own and
That's a lie. Because if you could suck your own, you'd still be living at home in your dad. You'd be in your basement. You would never have come out. You wouldn't even have social media. You'd still be in there sucking that thing.
Don't do that shit. But think about it. And this is what I told him. I said, like you, let's just say if
Yeah,
you was a
okay.
gay male,
Yeah.
and everything on television, all you saw was heterosexual sex,
Right.
which is at one point in time, that's all it used to be.
Sure.
If you was a gay dude, gay woman, and you sitting at home watching TV and you watching a man and a woman working,
Mhm.
making love, how would that make you feel? Because you're not
Well,
you're
but it
not
was
being
the social
represented
norm,
and you're
though.
not seeing
The
it.
social norm is man on woman.
Right.
What they're trying to do is make the social norm different.
Yeah, right. But it's like you said,
And they're trying to
different,
make it
but
the social norm to have.
but it's a reality.
But when
though.
you're trying too fucking hard.
yeah,
Because like
yeah.
when you
Yeah,
like
they
you know what I
put it-
mean? Like when nudity even came into movies,
Mhm.
and you're an actor,
Oh yeah.
like they had to ease it in. Like they've gotten progressively,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
they went to a time where they went too far. Like in the
Yeah.
90s, they went too far, and then they had to scale it back.
Yeah.
But like what I feel like the gay community is doing is like, let's find an underage kid and an old dude and have him eat his asshole in the most descriptive, like, you know what I mean? Like they're just
Yeah.
going way too far, way too fast. Like it's
Yeah.
escalated way too good. Like if you want to introduce a little bit of gay shit here and there, like
Right.
let's take 10 years to introduce it. Like let's
Yeah.
not just go to straight ass eating.
But you
Right
right,
out the
you're
gate.
right. Yeah, they said fuck soft porn. They
Right.
it's
Let's just
hard,
go
you know.
straight to fucking eating
Right.
assholes.
I think Ron Jeremy gonna run across.
Yeah. It's just too
like,
much.
What the hell?
I don't even want to see that.
That's
Like I
crazy.
don't even want to see like, that would be like if you just had like an underage girl sucking an old dude's dick
Yeah.
on a TV thing. Like I don't really want to see that. Honestly. Like
Right.
if it's a sitcom,
I feel like
a
he's
sitcom,
taking advantage of
like,
her.
yeah, I don't want to
You know?
see that. Like like does it have to be an underage girl? Does it
Right,
can you just get
right.
like a youngish girl? Like I mean,
Yep.
does it have to like? I mean, it's kind of like Clockwork Orange and stuff. It's like but these are not movies.
Right.
These are
Television shows.
series.
Yeah,
And it's like,
exactly.
I mean, let's put a little bit of sex. I don't,
And
but it's like
it's-
Game of Thrones. Like you had to make it his sister.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Like, come
know.
on.
Yeah, and then the king
It's
was
too much. you
not
know?
his nephew, but actually was his son.
It's a lot. Like it's
crazy.
shock and awe. You know what I mean? Like it's shock jock shit.
Yeah. But back in those days, I could see why they had it like that. What happened, but they kind of kept it quiet. Not everybody knew
Right.
what was going on. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? But nowadays, it's like soon as you turn on the TV,
Oh yeah, fuck
you
my
see-
ass.
you
Yeah,
see two
bitch.
dudes, and me, I'm like, man,
That's so gross.
damn, I like this show, but why the fuck he? I mean,
But
it's
like,
all right
okay,
if
so
you
how
wanna
about
be gay,
this?
but why they? I mean, they butt
They're
ass
not
naked
even.
gay.
They're not even making it a part of the story. Like,
Right.
okay, so what? We just watched this show. What is it? The Rest of Us or Last of Us? It's really, really, really good. It's kind of like a COVID pandemic zombie apocalypse movie TV series. It's great. The whole second episode, it goes off on its own story and ends. But the whole thing is a gay saga that starts and ends with that episode, and they don't go back to it. It doesn't tell the past story, doesn't tell a future story. It's just like we're gonna make one whole episode that's just gonna be about this gay couple that's just gonna go full gay for a whole fucking episode, and then they're gonna die off at the end, and then we're gonna move on. And it's like this was a great series. And like maybe you wanted to have a couple, maybe it told us a backstory or maybe it tells a future story, but it didn't. You just put a really nasty gay scene and a whole gay episode that does nothing to make this film better. I don't know. That's what I don't like. I feel like reasonableness has gone away. We're just not reasonable.
I mean,
it.
it's like they taken sex education to a whole nother level. And it's
I
not
didn't
even
know
it's-
what ass
it's
eating
not
was.
even it's not even education. It's just you
Raunchy.
you have to watch what your kids watch on TV. And if they into that, or if they, that's why, my sister get on me. She was like, stop letting that boy play with them dolls. And she said, what's wrong with him playing with his sister's dolls? I said, no, hell no. I said, he's only 3, Derrell. I'm like, and I want him to like pussy right now. I talked to him. I was like, you do know the name of you know what little girls have between their legs? And he's 5. He'll be 5 in June now, and he'll start laughing. I said, do you know what you have between your legs? He said, wee. I said, no, you got a dick.
Yeah.
And my sister's like, yeah, don't be telling him
Dude,
that. I said, why?
Is there such thing as a toxic blackmail?
Toxic blackmail?
Yeah. There's toxic white male I hear thrown around all the time.
Yeah.
You never hear
Yeah,
anybody talk about toxic blackmail.
Oh, black women do. You just don't.
They just don't talk to me.
Right. They talk amongst themselves.
They don't talk to toxic white dudes.
Right,
about toxic black dudes.
Right, exactly. We're kings, okay? We're kings. Which is true. We are. We're kings.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
we got some fucked up brothers out there too.
Sure.
It don't. To be honest, I don't even look at color. The color of your skin.
I don't.
You could be.
I do look
shitty
at cultural
man,
differences,
you could be
though.
a shitty woman.
I look at cultural differences because cultural differences are just that. They're different.
Oh yeah.
Like I look at Asian people and shit that Asian people do, and I just look at it and I question about it, and I make a couple of jokes about it. I'm gonna go eat fucking Asian food right now, even though we just shit on the same Asian restaurant that I'm about to go eat from. I'm not racist.
Oh, no.
I'm still about to go eat that shit.
Well, see,
but like we have curiosities, right? Like
Yeah.
I have curiosities about the black community, and as a culture, I grew up around nothing but white fucking people,
it's
dude.
funny you say that because my cousin from Winston-Salem, she was at the house when I came home earlier around lunch. She was there visiting my dad, her, and my dad's sister, my dad's older sister. They was there. This is on my father's side now.
Okay.
I get there and I told her, I said, you know what? We have our family reunion next in July up in Maryland. I want to go. I know you going, so I'm letting you know like that. She said, yeah, this is on the white side. Okay. My last name, White.
White.
But this is my grandfather's folks, right? So my great grandfather was white.
Yeah.
My grandmother was half white.
Okay.
When you look at my dad and his siblings, all the people don't know what the fuck they are. They like, are they white? Are they Hispanic? What? I mean, they ain't. Now I'm like, no, they mixed race.
Mhm.
They was like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, we can tell because you have good hair and your thin lips and your nose is not wide, like you got the little white man nose
Yeah.
and stuff. That's why when you say you be talking white, I have practice
Yeah.
because I have white.
You have white
relatives.
tendencies.
I have white. I wish my credit was white. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I can't get 800 to save my damn life. I'm stuck in that 700 range.
You're doing better than me. Owning 2 businesses is fucking hell on your credit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just my culture though. It's how you was brought up and raised. I got, like I said, I have cousins who they're light as you,
Mhm.
but they was raised with parents, white parents. They went to
Yeah.
white schools and stuff. Or me, okay, I have relatives, like I said, Caucasian relatives, but I was raised in a black household
Right.
where on my mama's side, I was getting the fried chicken and stuff.
Sure.
I won't get the chicken a la king and
Yeah. Chicken a la king.
right, cordon bleu chicken and shit. I had fried motherfucking chicken.
What is chicken a la king? You talking about chicken a la carte?
Yeah, something like that. I was
Chicken
raised in a house
cordon
where we
bleu.
had mac and cheese and shit. We didn't
Yeah.
eat casserole. What the fuck was a casserole? Everybody,
Yeah.
our white relatives would come over with some damn green bean casserole.
I love
all
green
the
bean
dark
casserole.
skinned family members would look at each other and be like, what is that shit?
love them.
And they be
I
saying,
love-
it's good. No, that shit was not good.
It's great.
And then it was
I
like,
love green bean
and then
casserole.
we always had 2 big ass bowls of potato salad. One with raisins in. We knew our white side of the family made that
Okay,
shit.
yeah, that's pretty fucking.
And we was like, we ain't eat
No,
that.
that's-
We ain't eat that.
Now, do
Them-
black people use mustard based or
Yes,
mayonnaise based?
Both.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a mayonnaise based.
I like them both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like them both. I say when I make it myself,
Mhm.
I make it mayonnaise based because that's how I was raised.
Like
That's
if-
how I was taught to
like
make it.
potato salad. If I don't eat homemade potato salad from a family member I know that can cook the shit, if I go to the store, I get the Amish potato salad. It's
Oh.
good.
Really?
Yes.
I'll have to
Amish
try that.
potato salad is good.
I have to try that. Yeah, I don't put no raisins in any of that. I don't like. I like celery, like the little chunks of celery in my potato salad. But I'm a huge potato salad fan.
Oh, yeah.
I have a huge bowl of it at the house right now. I make potato salad a lot.
Do you?
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, I like it with baked beans, and I make ribs a lot,
Oh, okay.
and so I always have baked beans. And but when I make ribs, I make like 3 racks.
know what you like? You like the St. Louis style baby backs? What kind of ribs? How you like?
Oh, I like baby backs.
Oh yeah.
I don't like short ribs.
Yeah.
I don't like short ribs. But I do the baby back ribs, and I do I cook them in vinegar, like a vinaigrette
vinegar base?
dressing, like a vinegar based dressing, salad dressing, like not Thousand Island, but Italian dressing.
Mhm. Like balsamic.
No, the Italian dressing,
Italian-
like just a
I know
Italian
some
dressing,
of- mhm.
and then I'll put like 2 things of Italian dressing in the pan, and then like a half a beer, and I'll cook them in that for half the time, and then I'll take them out, and then I'll cook them for another like 2 hours,
Mhm.
and then I'll baste them with sweet baby rays,
Mhm.
and then I'll put them
Oh,
back
yeah,
in
yeah.
for like another 45 minutes to an hour or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I like my ribs, and then I serve them over homemade baked beans and potato salad. I'll buy the baked beans, out of a can. I don't mind it, but I like to do my own baked beans. Like I like to cook the bacon, put the bacon in there, put my own barbecue sauce in there and shit like that. Like,
Homemade, everything. Homemade.
always like
is
homemade.
good, man. That's just like homemade breakfast.
but now I'm really hungry. so.
bacon, eggs, and sausage.
But
sausage.
what's your take on last thing? We got to
Mhm.
go. Breakfast for dinner? Yes or no?
Yeah,
Yeah, I do. that.
yeah. I eat
Uh-huh.
cereal at 8 o'clock at night.
That's terrible for you, by the way.
What
Cereal at 8 o'clock at night.
What?
At 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a fuck ton of carbs, fuck ton of sugar.
No, it
All the
depends.
bad shit.
It depends.
What
Depends on
what
you
cereal?
get. Well, I mean, I get Honey Nut Cheerios.
That's probably the worst.
They said it's good on your cholesterol. I'm black. They
Barely, it's good on
Yeah,
your cholesterol. It's
yeah.
like slightly good on your cholesterol, so they
Yeah.
just take it. That would be
I
like,
just can't. It's like potato chips. That Lay's.
don't
I
eat
can't
don't
with
eat those
one. I
Honey Nut
can't eat with
Cheerios at 8 o'clock at night. Eat
Well,
that shit like 3 in the afternoon.
3.
You got to burn that off.
Yeah.
You can't. It's definitely not good for your heart when you eat it and then go to bed.
Right.
Let all that shit that's on you. Now listen, I do like breakfast for dinner though.
Oh yeah.
If you want to if my wife's like, hey, we're doing pancakes and bacon for dinner tonight, I'm all for it. eggs. I'll do the
I
whole 9
mean,
yards.
yeah, I love
Some
boiled
people
eggs.
are anti that though.
I love boiled eggs. I remember
Oh,
when I have GERT, I have GERT real bad,
Mm-hmm.
indigestion and all
Yeah,
that
yeah.
stuff. Boiled eggs, cut them, split them up, and I can, whatever, if I
Yeah.
do sausage or bacon, but I have to air fry it.
Okay.
I can't, get the grease off of air fry.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's great. And I can eat that. It works.
It works
And
for
I eat it any time of the day. Like
Mm.
right now, if I want to go home, I will boil some eggs and split them bad boys and make me a sandwich.
Well, I've had a really great time tonight. Next week we will be on our own cameras. We won't be joined. We did get a new camera in today. We just didn't get the tripods in today. We'll also be moving to a new studio where we have our own individual sets. So I will have my own background. He'll have his own background, his own camera, my own camera. Of course, he already has his own mic right here that he's sitting in that I didn't burp into. For everybody in the live chats that we had today, Brian, Debbie, Deadleg, Megan Brossman coming in late, but she's is here as always, better late than never. Alicia Beatty, Hydroman Blue, Fulcanator, Will Cray, all the other people that I missed earlier on in the night. I apologize. But again, guys, thank you so much for everything that you guys have done for us. Our Patreon is growing every single day, which is affording us to grow this whole operation. And so just bear with us another 2 weeks, and we'll be in the new studio with a brand new set with all best sound, really great cameras. Andrea is rolling out her new internet tomorrow night. She has not gotten her new microphone yet or her new camera, but it's coming. So just the next 2 weeks, we're still growing, but it's all thanks to you guys, and we all appreciate it. Hit up our sponsors, stamps.com and Ghostbed as always. And until next time, guys, guns up, giddy up.